Hello. I can't remember where I got to on the story because I've been so preoccupied and all my time outside of work has been consumed with finding a new job because I finished my current contract on the 30th of November. But the good news is I've got an interview on Wednesday for something that I am really interested in and it seems like a really good opportunity. It's a fixed term. And I've had a chat with somebody this morning about another potential opportunity. So I'm just waiting for someone to get in touch so that we can organise an interview for that as well. So they're very different, but they're both roles I'm excited about. So I've manifested it because I gave myself a mantra every day. And I said it constantly every time my mind started to worry about finding a role. I would speak as if I'd already manifested my purpose, manifested what I wanted. So, and you speak to it as if it's already happened. So, that's what I did. But anyway, that's not the purpose of this video. The point of this video is, I think I got to, it was just after surgery and how I was recovering and mindset. I think that's where I got to. And but I've just done or I did yesterday a very short video on this on my Instagram, and I thought I'd give it a little bit more time here. But roll all the way back to 2018 BC, before cancer, or even if you're British, BBC, before breast cancer. I bet I'm not the first to have said that. And I don't mean to be lighthearted about breast cancer, but I can be lighthearted about my breast cancer if I choose to be. But in 2018, when I didn't love myself very much and I positively, quite frankly, despised myself, the way I looked, didn't look after myself anywhere near as well as I do now, and my inner dialogue was not positive. I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought I was ugly. Yeah, I was very sort of insecure and had very low self-esteem. Although I'd come a long way then from what I used to be, but I'm just a completely different person now because of this journey. But I didn't look after myself or treat myself that well. There was no self-care really. And because I gave far too many figs about fitting in and appearances, and I decided to go and get Botox. So off I trotted to the clinic, 2018, and I think I just had a little bit sort of here, and it's expensive. And within 2 weeks, my stomach was so distended. Now I know that my gut was wrecked from the antibiotics that the GP had been prescribing for 10 to 12 years for adult acne, which I now know is all hormone imbalance, probably estrogen dominance. I think I've talked about this on here. I'm sure I have. If not, I can. But besides the point, within 2 weeks, my stomach was really swollen, really distended. I looked pregnant. It was uncomfortable. I just didn't feel great. I didn't feel ill, but I didn't feel great. So I called the clinic and I said, is there any correlation here? And they said, no, it doesn't, it goes where we've put it, but it doesn't move from there. It won't enter your bloodstream, it won't enter your digestive system. It's, yeah. But I didn't like it or how I felt, so I didn't bother again. And then fast forward to February 2023, I've just had the breast cancer diagnosis. And I was going to a clinic round the corner to have a tattoo removed. It was the shoulder. And it was just something I'd had when I was younger, and it's just stupid Chinese writing, so I wanted that removed. But I'd also had, and I'll come on to that in a second. So Anna, who was the I can never say aesthetician. She'd always been saying you should try Botox, it'll make you look so much younger, it'll really help you, it'll make you look fresher, it'll lift your face. And I'd always said no. Anyway, I'd just been told I'd got cancer. She got me at a low ebb, and I went, oh okay, go on then. And I had the procedure. And I remember because my husband had gone away for a few days. And again, but it wasn't 2 weeks this time, it was a shorter time period. My stomach really distended, bloated. I just felt off, and I thought, oh, hello, same thing again. Now, I asked her when I went back to be checked up on, and she said, no, it's just gone into where we've put it. It cannot enter any other parts of the body. I don't care. My body was clearly telling me on both occasions, I don't like this, I don't want it, don't do this. So that was enough for me. That was enough for me. And I don't really care how people justify it. It is a toxin from botulism. That is something that doesn't belong naturally in the human body. I don't care how people, many people will come after me for this and disagree with me. This is my opinion. I'm not a medical expert, but I am an expert on me. And in my opinion, that is not something that belongs in the human body. And my body was clearly telling me it didn't like it. Now, I was about to say I'm not dissing Botox, but I kind of am. But I'm not dissing the people who use it, because if you use it and that's your vibe and it makes you feel good about yourself and makes you more comfortable in your own skin, then more power to you, and knock yourself out. Back in 2018, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to look better because I didn't like the way I looked. But there's nothing quite like a cancer diagnosis to kind of bring you down to earth with the bump of, I'm aging. It's inevitable. I can't fight it. There's no point. We're all gonna die. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer. There's no escaping that. Nobody, or maybe someday somebody like Elon Musk might, I don't know. But there's no getting away from it. We're all dying. One way or another, we're going. And so I just chose not to do that anymore. It's just not my vibe. But also what I'd had done is I'd had hyaluronic acid fillers, because the first thing that I noticed when I started aging was this on my neck. And Anna at the clinic was like, oh yeah, we can do fillers. So she'd put a cannula in the neck and do fillers. Again, my body didn't like it. I would actually get anxious, and I had it done twice. I think it was twice. And it's expensive. I'm really cross that I've spent that money. And I mean, the results were good, but I've since learned, because I've done the research, and don't take my word for this. I mean, you can look it up for yourself, just put it into ChatGPT. But I wrote some notes that even hyaluronic fillers don't always dissolve. They can stay in the body for years, and they can shift, they can move. Fillers can move to other parts of the body. And also, because I do the big 6 lymph drainage every day, because I lost 2 lymph, I started investigating the importance of lymph, and the face is full of lymph. And you know, this is what drains from the brain, and it drains. These areas here are huge areas for the lymph, the collarbone, the neck. And I thought, this is madness. I'm injecting this apparently filler that dissolves. I could be blocking my lymph, and I say, don't take my word for it, you can look it up yourself. It is possible that you can impact the lymph. So this started to frighten me, and so I don't do that anymore. And I really regret ever doing it in the first place, because this time last year, or it was Christmas this last year, I got a real fright because I found a little lump in my neck. I was just doing some massage, and I can't actually find it now. It's tiny. I don't know if you can see it. It's tiny little lump here. It's like a pea that's rock hard, and I believe that is filler that's just formed, because I panicked. I thought the cancer was back in my neck, so I went to the GP. I went to the breast cancer team, which is what you're supposed to do if there's anything that's out of the ordinary. They got me an appointment. I went to see Miss Potter, who did my surgery, she checked me all over very thoroughly, gave me the all clear, and told me to go to the dental hospital because they will deal with sort of down here. And I had an appointment. They thoroughly checked me, and they said it's what they call a fatty lump. There's nothing dangerous, and that is the only thing that I can conclude, that it's a piece of filler that didn't do what it was supposed to do. And I think that's probably there for life now, or hopefully it'll just disappear. So as I say, don't take my word for it. Look at these things yourself. But these are things that, they're foreign substances. They are chemical substances which we are putting into our bodies, which shouldn't be there. And, you know, I did it, so, you know, I'm cross with myself, but I don't do that anymore. So that's what this video is about. Just that I regret doing those things, regret wasting the money, because I think I was throwing money away. As I say, if you do those things because that helps you feel good about yourself, but I no longer am a sheep of, well, everybody else is doing it, so I have to do it. And I know that compared to a lot of women now my age, I look different. I look older. I know I've got lines here. I have lines here. I've got lines here. And a lot of people in my age cohort don't have that. They are very smooth. They're very aesthetically pleasing. I'm quite happy with my gua sha. I should have got it to show you. And I do self-massage, so I've got my little cup things and my gua sha, my facial oil, so I use good quality, toxin-free, you know, no hormone disruptors, no phthalates, skincare products. I like Tropic and Neal's Yard, and I use castor oil. Castor oil's my best friend. Honestly, it's amazing, castor oil. It's helped my eyebrows grow back because I overplucked in the 80s and the 90s. And yeah, that's good enough for me. So those were two things that I stopped doing because I thought, what is the point in me turning my life around and doing all this health stuff if I'm putting shit in my body? It just doesn't make any sense. So I do not do that anymore, but I know people are going to come at me for this and say I probably don't know what I'm talking about, which is why I say, don't take my word for it. You can look it up yourself. And I think in years to come, I mean, you think now there are people having silicone breasts implants removed because of how dangerous they are to the lymph. So yeah, just think about that. And that's all for now. Oh, I said I'd do books, didn't I? Right, next one, I'll do books.